Novak Djokovic's run at Wimbledon came to an end in the semifinals, as world number 1 Jannik Sinner delivered a commanding performance, winning in straight sets 6-3, 6-3, 6-4. Sinner, showing great composure and control, will now reach the Wimbledon final for the first time, where he will face the defending champion, Carlos Alcaraz. This means the first time since 2017, Novak Djokovic will not play the gentlemen's singles final at Wimbledon. Djokovic struggled from the outset, clearly hampered by the injury suffered in the previous match, which affected his movement and shot making. Sinner capitalized early, breaking Djokovic's serve in the third game of the first set, immediately putting the Serbian on the back foot. Djokovic's usually reliable forehand was noticeably off, and despite some strong serving, he was unable to halt Sinner's momentum. After a lengthy game at 5-3, Sinner closed out the opening set with a crucial break. The second set saw Sinner dictate the pace even more aggressively, breaking early to take a 2-0 lead and maintaining pressure throughout. Djokovic managed to win just a handful of points on Sinner's serve, and although Sinner missed a chance to close out the set at 5-3, he remained dominant on his own serve. Between sets 2 and 3, Djokovic received treatment from the physiotherapist and showed a brief resurgence, breaking to go up 3-0. However, Sinner quickly regained his rhythm, responding with 2 consecutive breaks and winning 5 games in a row to seize a 5-3 lead. Djokovic fought valiantly, but the gap in form was clear. Sinner's aggressive baseline game and improved resilience proved decisive, as he converted his 4th match point to secure the win and a spot in the final. This victory highlights Sinner's growing confidence and ability to challenge the very best on the biggest stages. Unfortunately, it was quite hard to imagine an aging Djokovic to come back after the nasty fall last match made him land like this. But Djokovic did not want to diminish Jannik Sinner's remarkable performance. Djokovic said, "I had quite a problem physically. It wasn't a pleasant feeling on the court, but I don't want to talk about the injury in detail. I want to congratulate him on a great game. He was too strong. I am disappointed that I couldn't move the way I hoped and wanted to be able to." His struggle with movement and timing was clear throughout the match, but Djokovic's respect for Sinner's level of play remained unwavering. When addressing his recent injury setbacks and current form, Djokovic was candid about the role that age and wear have played. "I don't think it's bad fate, but age. The body feels everything that has passed. The reality has hit me like never before in the last year and a half, to be honest." He reflected on the difficulty of competing at his best in long, grueling matches, explaining, "This year it's difficult for me to play in 3 sets 1. The longer the tournament goes on, the harder it is for me. I reach the semifinals, I play with Sinner and Alcaraz, and they are fresh and sharpened, while I enter the match with half a tank. That's how it is. I have to accept it somehow to deal with reality." Despite this setback and the frustrations that come with it, Djokovic remains hopeful and motivated. "I hope this is not my last match at the Central Stadium. I would like to come back at least one more time," he said, emphasizing his desire to continue competing at the highest level. Though he has not won a Grand Slam this year or last, Djokovic reaffirmed his commitment to performing his best on the biggest stages. "I am doing my best to prepare in order to play at the slams to the best of my ability. Although I did not win the slams this year and last year, I still think that I play the best there. I care about them the most." Looking ahead, Djokovic acknowledged the challenges he faces and the work that lies in front of him. "I have to think about everything, talk to the team and the family. Let's see what the schedule will be like, how we will train. I don't know what I can do differently, because on a daily level, how much effort I put in. I can challenge anyone in that sense on the tour, but lately I haven't been rewarded for that in the late stages of slams. However, I have been rewarded for that long. I got a lot from God and life in my career. It would be ungrateful to complain about injuries now. I was fit for so long, had an amazing career. Now I'm trying to make the most of what I have left. I'm disappointed and upset. Not because of the defeat. I wasn't the favorite even if I was fit, but I think I would have had a good chance." At the net after the match, the sportsmanship between Djokovic and Sinner was evident. Djokovic said that Sinner said sorry to him because he felt bad. Djokovic said that there's nothing to be sorry for, as Sinner is the best in the world in the last year and a half, and he wishes him luck in the final. Now, with Djokovic's exit from Wimbledon, many are asking what comes next for the Serbian legend. Can he still compete with the very best, or is this a slow, inevitable winding down of one of tennis's greatest careers? Watching the semifinal, it was clear that Djokovic's movement had been compromised, especially in the final set. His speed and agility, hallmarks of his game, were visibly diminished. He himself confirmed this after the match, saying, "I wasn't thinking about not going out on the court at all. I didn't feel that bad, in the sense that I couldn't stand on my leg. Yesterday I couldn't train, but in the warm-up it felt good, all things considered." Still, uncertainty loomed over how his leg would hold up during the match. Djokovic explained that in the early stages, I played from the spot, I didn't run around too much, but as the first set progressed, the injury took its toll. Already in the middle of the first set, there were several more aggressive movements, especially on the forehand side, where I had to push away. I felt an additional deterioration there. What started as manageable pain and stiffness soon worsened, and although he maintained competitive play through the first 6 or 7 games, the body's limitations became impossible to ignore. It was a subtle but unmistakable shift. The player who had dominated movement and court coverage for years was now constrained by physical fragility. He was realistic yet hopeful about his recovery. I don't believe that this can take me off the field for too long. Unfortunately, I've had these kinds of injuries recently, and I managed to come back really quickly. I think that at the US Open, I can bring myself to the optimal level, that I can play at the highest level. This optimism highlights Djokovic's enduring resilience and professional dedication, traits that have fueled his sustained success over 2 decades. However, Djokovic was frank about the deeper challenges posed by aging and the wear and tear of an extraordinary career. The body feels everything that has passed. The reality has hit me like never before in the last year and a half, to be honest. It's hard to accept because I feel and have proven that I can still play very well when I'm fit and fresh. This statement is telling. It reflects a dual reality. On one hand, Djokovic's skills and mental toughness remain intact. On the other, his body no longer offers the same durability, especially in the physically brutal format of best-of-5 set Grand Slams. Looking ahead, Djokovic also acknowledged the uncertainty in his future plans. Now that I have just left the court, it is difficult for me to see the bigger picture and to think about the plans for the next few months, for the year. I am doing my best to prepare in order to play at the slams to the best of my ability. Although I did not win the slams this year and last year, I still think that I play the best there. I care about them the most. His commitment to Grand Slams underlines his continued motivation to compete at the highest level despite the obstacles. The emotional weight of this moment is evident in his admission. I'm quite in a bad mood to talk about anything, but his love for the game and dedication to his body is unwavering. I dedicate a lot of time to my body. I don't do it just as an obligation, but I also see it as a way of life, that healthy life. I love that wellness world. I'm always open-minded, curious to implement some new things that can take my body and mind to a higher level. This shows Djokovic's adaptability and willingness to evolve, essential for any athlete aiming to prolong their career. Ultimately, Djokovic faces a harsh reality many athletes confront as they age. The gap between skill and physical capacity grows wider, and recovery becomes tougher. Yet his mindset remains focused on maximizing what he has left, stating, "Now I'm trying to make the most of what I have left. I'm disappointed and upset, not because of the defeat. I wasn't the favorite, even if I was fit, but I think I would have had a good chance." Unfortunately, Djokovic's honest words only confirm the reality and his performance and physical state in the semifinal. Maybe for the first time, it seriously looks like he will not come back from this. And while a lot of the focus of this match went to the physical condition of Djokovic, we must not downplay Sinner's game. With this win, he tied Nadal for most consecutive wins versus Djokovic at 5, dropping only 1 set to the Serb since their match in Shanghai in 2024. With this win, he also became only the 4th player to beat Djokovic on clay, grass, and hard court after Nadal, Federer, and then Andy Murray. Sinner broke the record for the youngest player to reach 4 consecutive men's singles finals at Grand Slam events. These stats confirm what we all already know. Sinner is an insanely talented and consistent performer, but the same can be said for Alcaraz too. In fact, Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz are just the 2nd pair in the Open era to meet in the men's singles final at Wimbledon and Roland Garros in the same season after Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal almost 10 years ago. The Wimbledon final will be a blockbuster and a must-watch. Will Alcaraz continue his winning streak versus Sinner, or will the Italian get revenge? Many things are unknown, but one thing is for certain: the Wimbledon final will represent the modern-day tennis and the future of tennis.